Welcome to a new episode of Superhero Deep Dive. As always, I am your host Jason. I have a pretty good episode lined up for you today, featuring a hero that I have quickly really started liking. So, let me get my disclaimers out of the way. We will get into it. So the information is pulled from different sources across the internet and may or may not be completely complete, but they do give a really good insight on the current superhero. You can catch me every Tuesday and Thursday throughout the day on Outworld Fleet Radio. Their website is outworldfleetradio.online. You can catch me on Twitter or Instagram under Super Deep Dive, and I try to use the hashtag Superhero Deep Dive. You can catch me on YouTube under Superhero Deep Dive, where I post memes every day. I post videos throughout the week. Comment, like, subscribe, share, follow me, all that good stuff. Help me grow the channel. And you can always email me directly at b4itall, so b4itall@yahoo.com. Alright. So with that being said, I am going to be talking about Stargirl. She's got a cute little CW show. I believe it's on like their third season or something. It's not a terrible show, to be honest with you. It's definitely got its, hits and misses, but it's not a terrible show. It's kind of fun. But she's kind of awesome, and I can't wait to get into it. So, her real name is Courtney Whitmore. She's the stepdaughter of Pat Dugan, who was Stripesy, the original Star Spangled Kid's sidekick. So, she finds the original Star Spangled Kid's gear in her father's belongings, and she dons the costume mainly to annoy Dugan. But as she resents his marrying her mother and moving the family from Los Angeles to Blue Valley, Nebraska, Dugan is a skilled mechanic, designs and rebuilds Stripe, which is a robotic suit that he uses to accompany and protect her. So they kind of keep working together and mend their ways, get through it. Now Courtney, she joins the Justice Society of America, and after being given Starman Jack Knight's cosmic staff, she changes her identity to Stargirl. Courtney then appears in most issues of JSA, and it is in these pages that her half-sister Patricia Dugan is born. Later, she confronts her predecessor's killer, so she confronts the Starman's killer, Solomon Grundy. Driven further into madness by the Joker's chemical assault, Grundy attacks the JSA headquarters with the head of the Statue of Liberty. So Blue Valley has to be near New York, I would assume, unless Solomon Grundy is just carrying it wherever. But it says that it's in Nebraska, right? So, I don't know. She had to be in New York. I guess maybe that's where the JSA headquarters is. So, there's a lot of, jumps in here, that, because that's what awesome storytelling is. But, with the aid of Hakeem Thunder, Courtney fights Grundy in the streets and into the sewers below. The young heroes barely defeat Grundy, and Johnny Thunderbolt repairs the statue. Grundy later develops an obsession with Courtney. Courtney then encounters Mary Pemberton, who is the sister of the original Star Spangled Kid, during the Sins of Youth storyline. Mary Pemberton's concerns about her brother's legacy and about being young superheroes battling adults causes friction with Courtney, as it should, right? They resolve their differences during a battle against the forces of Clarion the Witch Boy. Courtney later saves Mary's life during an attack by Amazo, and during this incident, Courtney is magically aged to an adult by Clarion. Later, she discovers her biological father, Sam Curtis, working as a common thug for an incarnation of the Royal Flush Gang. They later confront each other during one of the Royal Flush Gang's robberies. In Stars and Stripe, and in an issue of Impulse, Courtney hints at having a crush on Robin, who was Tim Drake. That was the identity at the time. A concept that was not developed in subsequent issues, but it should have been, because that would have been a cute couple. Courtney briefly dates fellow JSA member Captain Marvel, who's my favorite, who in his secret identity of Billy Batson is the same age as she. So this is weird, right? How do you navigate that when, like, she starts dating Billy Batson, but when he turns into Captain Marvel or Shazam or whatever they want to call him at the time, he's a full-fledged adult and she's still like a 15-year-old girl. How do you navigate this? Like, this is weird. This is weird because it has the appearance of bad things, but it's not really, because he's really the same age. It's just weird. It's almost like I don't know. It's just weird. It's just weird, right? All right. To outsiders, however, Captain Marvel is all by appearances an adult, and the relationship between Marvel and Stargirl draws criticism from Hakeem Thunder and Jay Garrick, which Jay Garrick was the original Flash with the bucket on his head, or the bowl on his head. After Garrick confronts him, Marvel leaves the JSA and Courtney instead of revealing his secret to the team. Marvel later returns to the JSA and explains that the wisdom of Solomon prevents him from revealing his secret identity. A glimpse into the future shows an adult Star Woman married to Albert Rothstein, the JSA member known as Atom Smasher. I don't really see that, but you know, whatever. Courtney's family is later murdered by agents of Per Degaton as she travels with the rest of the JSA to 1951. The modern age successors to Golden Age JSA members meet and fight alongside the originals to save her family and the future. She finds herself forced to work with Atom Smasher again, and for the first time since he defected to Black Adam's rival team. Now, during her trip to the past, Courtney is briefly stuck in an asylum when she tries to recruit Ted Knight. Knight had become clinically depressed for his perceived role in the creation of the atomic bomb, to the point that he initially thought Courtney was a hallucination. But she was saved by a figure later identified as Star Woman, an adult version of her infant sister Patricia. And after the crisis is over, Courtney forgives Al for his past alliance with Black Adam, but Atom Smasher is nearly killed by the Spectre during an attack on Kandak. He survives, but the event reveals the depth of Courtney's feelings for him. She returns to her own time to find her family alive again. Yay! Silver linings, right? Later, Atom Smasher is tried and convicted for his actions while working for Black Adam. During a TV appearance, Courtney says that with Al in prison, she would be there for him no matter how long it takes. Okay, so Courtney is approached by the Shade, who tells her that her biological father is dead. This tragedy and her experience of the relationship between Liberty Bell and Jesse Quick prompts her to reevaluate her family life. She discovers that she can't hate her biological father for his failings as a father and as a man. She also learns to accept Pat Dugan as her only real father figure. So, I guess she can't hate him, but she has to hold him accountable as well. Like, I mean, you know, like, you don't have to hate someone for making mistakes, but you can and probably should hold them accountable, because it prevents you from getting hurt further in something unnecessary, right? I don't know. Alright, let's see here. Stargirl becomes part of a coalition consisting of the JSA, the Doom Patrol, and the Teen Titans that is organized to stop Superboy Prime from destroying Smallville. Superboy Prime kills several of the Titans, include Panther and Baby Wildebeest, and maims Risk, removing his arm. That was a risk he shouldn't have taken. Ba-dum-bum. Sorry. Alright, Stargirl later attends a memorial service for heroes who died in the crisis. Afterwards, she begins attending college. She has altered her equipment, her rod now telescopes into a small cylinder, and her costume and belt materialize as the rod extends to full use. Courtney then joins the new roster of Justice Society and fights without Stripe's assistance. A seasoned hero despite her age, she forges a bond with her young teammate Cyclone, the eager and over-impulsive granddaughter of the first Red Tornado. This isn't the one I did in a previous deep dive where it's the android Red Tornado. This was a lady that wore a like a cooking pot on her head and called herself the Red Tornado. She is awesome. Not quite enough for a superhero deep dive, just because there wasn't a lot of information I could pull. But yes. But anyways, Cyclone and Stargirl, they bond. After witnessing the death of Mr. America, and Courtney suggests Cyclone create a new superhero costume and the name and name. Okay, so yeah, she needs a new costume and name. Stargirl resumes her role of mentorship for the youngest heroes by helping Jefferson Pierce's daughter, Jennifer, who Jefferson Pierce is Black Lightning, I believe. So his daughter cope with her powers and her isolation. Courtney later expresses to Damage her doubts about Gog. Gog was this guy, he had kind of like ram's head helmet, and he was insanely powerful. A future version of Courtney is seen in Teen Titans Volume 3, number 53, along with Lex Luthor and his future Titans. Her role is minimal, however she is seen wearing Jack Knight's goggles and jacket, the closest she has ever come to Jack Knight's version of Star Woman at the end of this series. In the Final Crisis miniseries, Courtney joins with other heroes to form an underground resistance against Darkseid. Courtney is present and apparently involved in voting for discussions on how to move the JSA forward after the GOG debacle, and whom to retain or remove from the team. And she defends some of the heroes who sided with GOG. Later, she is present with the JSA, and they meet a depowered Billy Batson, who reveals his secret identity to the others. After the battle with Black Adam and Isis, Courtney was unhappy as the events had happened on her birthday and had ruined any planned celebrations. It sounds petty, but I mean, we can all understand. I think we've all been there, where we've had something happen during a birthday time and it just kind of ruined it, right? When she goes home and opens the door, the entire Justice Society is present and have prepared a late surprise party for her. Later, she's unhappy to learn that she still needed her braces despite being acknowledged as one of the senior members of the JSA. This is just life, right? Like, she still needed her braces. Probably because she'd been punched in the face before and they haven't set. I don't know. It has been established that both she and Atom Smasher love each other in direct quotes rather than aside and implied habits, but the elder JSA members' comments about their age difference forced Al to turn Courtney down, stating that he loved her like a sister. So wow, that's rough. In September of 2011, the New 52 rebooted DC's continuity, and in this new timeline, Stargirl appears as part of the new Justice League of America title. I skipped something. Oh, hold on. Okay. Following a massive supervillain attack, the JSA is split in two. Power Girl convinces Courtney to join the JSA All-Star Splinter Group. She later expresses a deep feeling of regret over siding with the All-Stars, claiming that she feels more at home with the original roster. Karen talks her through these doubts, telling her that she needs Courtney on the team because of all the other team members the JSA look up to her. So she had to be there kind of as a figurehead. And then they rebooted where Stargirl's part of the Justice League of America. So sorry, I got that mixed up in my notes. Okay. So this is kind of like brings into almost like a new origin, I guess. Because like it goes to born in Los Angeles. Courtney Whitmore was cleaning out the office of Barbara Whitmore's boyfriend, Pat Dugan, when she found a staff belt and shirt with a star to wear. While trying them on, she became Stargirl and caught the perpetrator of a fire she spotted. Perpetrator of a fire she spotted. The heroic actions went viral, and after talking to her friend about what happens next, Courtney was informed by Pat that the person who originally wielded the equipment has died. Though Pat agreed to train her, Courtney had to respond to the criminal activity caused by Shadow Thief, who was taking hostages to draw out a superhero. She managed to rout out Shadow Thief, and when Stargirl returned home, she found that Shadow Thief arrived first, killed her brother, and wounded Barbara and Ted. Stargirl used this trauma to become a better superhero. that's a lot to deal with too. So I kind of like the first origin a little bit better, but you know, whatever. Alright, she was then chosen by Amanda Waller to be the public face of the JLA's PR campaign. After the disbandment of the JLA, following the crossover event Forever Evil, Stargirl joined the Justice League United. So why would she be considered the public face? It's because she's a cute blonde girl that has an innocence about her. You know, that's what it is, and she's got stars on her, so she looks kind of patriotic. That's why. That's why. I'm just letting you know now. Alright, so in the Watchmen sequel, Doomsday Clock, Stargirl is among the superheroes that confront Dr. Manhattan on the moon. Stargirl appears with the Justice Society of America when Dr. Manhattan undoes the changes that he made to the timeline that erased the Justice Society and the Legion of Superheroes. In the pages of The New Golden Age, Courtney accompanied Pat when they went to Myrtle Beach at the time when the Jill Carlisle version of Crimson Avenger got the 7 Soldiers of Victory back together. Courtney befriended Emiko Queen. While Courtney and Emiko were left behind because they were too young, they discovered that the 7 Soldiers of Victory are going after Clock King. As Stargirl and Red Arrow, they discover that Clock King has used Per Degaton's time machine to bring the ship that the Lee Travis version of the Crimson Avenger sacrificed himself on. Before destroying the time machine in order to send the ship back to its own time, Stargirl is told by Lee to find Wing. I don't know who that is. Okay. There's a lot here. There's a lot here. So, number one, why would you call yourself Clock King? That's pretentious and it's a dumb name. Number two, there's a lot of Crimson Avengers out there, I guess. So, just letting you know. And I don't know who Wing is. I may have missed it. I'm sorry. But anyways, Emiko Queen later visits Courtney, telling her that she found a lead in where the missing children's sidekicks are. Their search takes them to an island called the Diablo Triangle. That's right, the Diablo Triangle. When they arrive, they find that the sand is similar to Miraclo. Now Miraclo is, I believe that is what sand the Hourman uses to have his powers of super strength and stamina and speed and all that good stuff for an hour, which I do have him scheduled to do a deep dive. So their sand is similar to that. When an egg-shaped child collector working for the Childminder, what terrible name, makes off with Red Arrow, Stargirl is saved by Airwave, Cherry Bomb, Wing, and Robot Man's creation, Robbie the Robot Dog. I'm not even mad at that. I'm not even mad at Robbie the Robot Dog. That's awesome. She meets the other lost children consisting of Little Miss Redhead, terrible name, and her companions, the Blue Boys, the Newsboy Legion, TikTok of Iron Man's Minutemen of America. Oh my gosh. John Henry Jr., Betsy Ross, Molly Pitcher, Ladybug, Salem the Witch Girl, and Quiz Kid. What? How did they come up with these names? Oh my gosh. And Time Master's member Corky Baxter. With these people, you know the bad thing about it is all of these things, all of these names, the last one, Time Master's member Corky Baxter, that's not even the worst name. That's not even the worst name. Can you imagine having to be Little Miss Redhead or being part of called TikTok of Our Man's Minutemen, and being looking at Corky Baxter and be like, yeah, that's a better name than I have. Oh my gosh. Now with these people, Stargirl works to rescue Red Arrow and the other captives' lost children, as Childminder plans to sell them to the android version of Our Man. What? As most of her allies are nested by the child collectors, Stargirl and the remaining ones with her continue their raid on the Childminder's castle. Upon meeting up with an escaped Red Arrow and those with her, the Childminder arrives as the Hourman android subdues everyone but Stargirl. He states that she is not a lost child and that he is working to save the lost children from complete obliteration. The Hourman android was later revealed to be working for an adult version of Corky Baxter called Time Master. Yeah, as Childminder is reduced to an egg by a beam from the time portal, Boom and Quiz Kid reprogram the Hourman android's brain back so that he can fight off Time Master. Since the Hourman android stated that the lost children can't be returned to their own time due to paradoxical reasons, he brought them to Courtney's time. While noting that some of the lost children have mentors or families who are dead, Courtney works on putting together a team for the lost children called the Young Justice Society. Wow. Alright, afterwards, Stargirl was with the Justice Society of America when they were fighting Angleman. Not Angel Man, but Angleman. I've just gotta put my head down on this. Okay. And an army of interdimensional bizarros until Angleman is defeated by a huntress from an alternate future. Yeah. After Green Lantern's ring confirms Huntress's claims that her encounter with confirms Huntress's claims and her encounter with Per-Decaton, Stargirl suggests that they should call Mr. Terrific. Just then, the JSA is confronted by Per-Decaton. And that's pretty much where it ends. Like, they keep putting her in these stupid storylines, and they shouldn't. They really shouldn't. But what do you guys think of her history? It's kind of crazy, right? It's really obnoxious. But let me get into her powers. Courtney is an expert gymnast and kickboxer. When wearing the Cosmic Converter Belt, Stargirl has enhanced strength, speed, agility, and stamina, as well as the ability to project shooting stars. When wielding the Cosmic Staff, Stargirl can fly and perform cosmic energy manipulation, which is awesome. And over the years, Courtney has been careless with her secret identity. Many of her school friends and some villains are aware of her identity. She admits this during the Identity Crisis crossover, and Courtney revealed her identity to her friend Mary moments into her first outing, before she decided to make a career of being a costumed hero. In Justice Society of America number 26, the entire JSA is at her home in full uniform and are also present when she visits the dentist in costume, much to Courtney's annoyance. So she is terrible at this. By all accounts, she should be treated as a joke, right? But I don't find this, and I can't wait to share this with you guys. But tell me, what do you guys think? Leave a message in the comments if you're following me on YouTube. It's under Superhero Deep Dive. You know, I love having conversations, going back and forth, hearing your opinions. If you have requests for future episodes, let me know. You can also DM me on Twitter or Instagram. I get those from time to time, and that's Super Deep Dive. You can also email me, which I get those quite frequently, actually. That's B4itall, so B4itall at yahoo.com. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. I went over her powers, kind of cool power set. Went over her history, which was out there and didn't make a lot of sense. Even as I was getting information together, I was like, man, this is going all over the place. But fun facts about Courtney. Courtney Whitmore as Stargirl appears in Smallville, portrayed by Britt Irvin. This version is a member of the Justice Society and was mentored by Sylvester Pemberton. Two versions of Courtney Whitmore as Stargirl appear in Mediaset in the Arrowverse. The Stargirl of Earth 1 appears in the second season of Legends of Tomorrow, portrayed by Sarah Gray. This version is a member of the Justice Society of America, who operated in 1942 before most of them went missing during a mission in 1956 and presumed dead. In reality, they disperse themselves across the timeline to protect fragments of the Spear of Destiny, with Stargirl escaping to the 6th century and creating the Court of Camelot under the alias of Merlin. The Stargirl of Earth 90 makes a cameo appearance in the crossover Elseworlds as one of the several dead superheroes who failed a test brought about by the Monitor that devastated their world. Courtney Whitmore as Stargirl appears in a self-titled television series portrayed by Brec Bassinger, while Maisie Smith portrays her as a child. This version is a founding member and leader of a new incarnation of the Justice Society of America following the original group's deaths. Ahead of the series premiere, Bassinger made a cameo appearance in the Arrowverse crossover Crisis on Infinite Earths via archive footage from the Stargirl episode The Justice Society. Courtney Whitmore as Stargirl makes a cameo appearance in the Titans episode Dude, Where's My Gar? That's with a G, not a C. Courtney Whitmore as Stargirl appears in Justice League Unlimited. This version is a member of the expanded Justice League. And she also appears in a teaser segment for Batman the Brave and the Bold episode Cry Freedom Fighters. Courtney Whitmore as Stargirl makes a cameo appearance in the Robot Chicken DC Comics special as a member of the Justice League. She also appears in Justice League Action and in Young Justice. This version was the host of the Good World Studios news show, Stargirl. As a flashback depicted the episode Volatile, Whitmore has become Stargirl and joined the Outsiders. Courtney Whitmore as Stargirl was originally going to appear in Black Adam in that movie as a member of the Justice Society of America, but was cut from the film. And it's probably because of the TV show. I mean, to be honest, they probably didn't want him crossing over and mixing stories. They probably just cut her because she was used in other media. She's also a playable character in Lego Batman 3 Beyond Gotham. And she's a playable character in Infinite Crisis. So that's kind of cool. But those are some fun facts, and I want to get into my final thoughts. This is where I kind of go into it and, really give what I think. The greatest thing about Stargirl is the fact that she makes mistakes. She can't hold on to her secret identity to save her life. She's young, she's idealistic. To me, she's the DC teenage female version of Peter Parker. And personally, I love every bit of it. This is what makes for great writing and even better storytelling. She's idealistic about being a hero, but she's also naive in what dangers that are out there. And it's really awesome if you think about it, because this is what made Spider-Man so endearing. So what could we do? What should we do with Stargirl? I think if anything, she needs a good comic solo series that really helps her shine, but puts her in situations where she can make mistakes, learn from them, correct them, and come out stronger because of it. She's already got a really cute TV show, so she doesn't need more of that. At least in my opinion, the character isn't really movie material, but you never know down the road. And when I say this, when I say like a cute TV show, the TV show is a lot of fun. I enjoy it. I see some people that are like, oh, they're stretching the origins or stretching the characters a bit. It's become this, blah, blah, blah. It's a fun show. Just watch it with an open mind. It's not super serious, but they do cover some serious topics. The actress, Brec Bassinger, she does a great job. She's got this teenage look, but she's got a maturity about her too. But the thing I love is that, like I said, she can make mistakes. She can be the character that made Spider-Man so popular and iconic just in DC, and DC has not capitalized on it. They're like, yeah, she's idealistic, she's naive, she makes mistakes, so let's put her up with Clock King and the child shifter or whatever it is, child person. I don't know. But it's just stupid stuff, stupid stories. We're like, no, let's put her up with bigger villains, or make bigger villains. Have her go up against them, lose, have to figure out where she made the mistake, get back on the horse, and go towards victory. You know, it's the same thing Spider-Man did, and that formula has worked, and it's worked well. But I do think, however, that a solo series would be perfect for her, because she is an amazing character, and with her, she's kind of like this constant underdog. Not because she's a woman, but because she's so idealistic and relatable. One of the things that makes me love superheroes, and that one of the reasons I've always loved superheroes, is because I am idealistic as well. I love that there's a right and a wrong, there's a good and a bad, and we have to get through that, right? Why not keep that going here? We got stuff to do, and you know, sometimes it takes sacrifice. Sometimes it takes having to step away from things, but you don't do it until you've made those mistakes already, right? One of the biggest mistakes Peter Parker had was that he didn't stop that thief that ended in his uncle's death. So he constantly feels that weight. Courtney needs something like that. Stargirl needs something. Doesn't have to be that same thing. She doesn't have to lose family members. You know, maybe she was doing something with the JSA. She made a mistake, and they all had to pay the price for it, or something like that. Or someone innocent. It doesn't even have to be anyone she knows. It could just be she did something where she was indirectly responsible for people being hurt or worse, and she's got to make up for it. So she's got to make these mistakes. But you know, no matter what happens, like no matter what happened to Spider-Man, he was still idealistic, and there was that little bit of naivety, which I think we need to hold for her. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Like I said, you can catch me on Twitter or Instagram under superdeepdive. I try to use the hashtag superherodeepdive. I forget about it a lot of times, but it's there sometimes. You can email me directly at b4itall, so b4itall@yahoo.com. And you can catch me on YouTube under Superhero Deep Dive. I'm really trying to get that channel growing, so your help would be greatly appreciated. But yeah, if you guys have any comments, questions, concerns, things I may have missed, if you have fun facts that you'd like to add to it, things you love, conversations, ideas for the character, or requests for future episodes, let me know. I am all about it. But I think that's going to do it for me. I hope everyone is blessed. I hope everyone's happy. I hope everyone is safe, and I hope everyone is smart. But if you're not smart, don't get caught. I will see you guys later. Bye-bye.